What's up, guys? I'm working on the old 86 Bullnose today. We're trashing that AOD that's in it and swapping in a manual 4-speed for extra fun. Because who don't love grinding some gears when you're rolling down the street? And automatics, they're lame, man. If you're a hot rodder, you know manual shifting is where it's at. Now, I will say, in a drag racing setting, automatics, usually are the way to go. But when you're cruising around, rolling up to the Sonic or your local car show, manuals get all the love. Let's just be real, guys. I mean, they do. But anyways, just all jokes aside, we're swapping a 4-speed in here. I got all the parts from a pick and pull. They're having an awesome sale. I got the transmission, all the stuff I needed for like 150 bucks. I am buying a new clutch to put in it, a new clutch master cylinder, and a couple other little maybe odds and ends that I'll figure out as we go through this process. But you can do these swaps on the cheap if you're using used parts. If you're going all brand new, it can get expensive real quick. So I suggest going to your local pick and pull, finding a good transmission, clutch pedal assembly, because your automatic's only going to have a brake pedal and you need that clutch pedal. And really, that's pretty much most of the stuff you need for the swap is just transmission. You could grab you the tunnel cover off a manual, because you're going to have to cut out the automatic that's in there, because there's no hole, on the floor for the, stick shift to come through. So, but anyways, I've only seen 2 other videos on somebody doing a manual swap on these Bullnose trucks. The Craig 909 actually just came out with one. His video is excellent. So good job, Craig. There's another guy that did a ZF swap, but I believe, if I remember correctly, the Craig and that other guy, they both did ZF5 swaps on these trucks. I'm swapping a 4-speed in here. The 4-speed actually came out of one of these trucks, probably a 82 to 85. It was a non-EFI truck. So my swap is going to be easier. The 4-speed's a much smaller transmission, just easier to handle and install. I got a lot more room. ZF5 is a great transmission. If I could have came across one of those for cheap, I would have probably grabbed the ZF5, but just to have that extra gear. But the 4-speed, it's still a great transmission. So it should be really fun to cruise this thing around, take it to the local car show and have some fun with it. Take her down the drag strip. This ain't ever going to be a extremely fast truck, but I want it to be a fun cruiser, hot rod, take it to the track. Just overall a fun truck. And in my opinion, there's nothing funner than jamming gears and just, dumping the clutch and letting them tires smoke. And it just don't get no funner than driving a manual, especially when you drive an automatic every day for your, daily driver. It's fun to hop in one of these old trucks and feel like you're really, back in the day. So anyways, guys, I hope this video helps y'all. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you got a question, comment, anything. If you want to drop some info for me, and for future, for other guys that are doing this swap, drop that comment, man, because I go on tons of other videos. That's where I get a lot of good information, is that comment section. Other guys talking about stuff they're doing. So it's just like, the forums. You go on there and search the forums. YouTube is just another, it's a video forum, but underneath that comment section, there's a lot of good information. So when you're watching videos like this, go look at that comment section. You can learn a lot of stuff. But anyways, and most of all, subscribe to the channel, guys. We're approaching 1 million views on this channel, and I think like 1% of my viewers are subscribed. So we're growing every day. We're getting more subscribers. Obviously the subscribers and stuff from this channel helps pay for these builds and me making these videos. I don't have any sponsors or nothing like that. I'm not trying to shove anything down your throat, but just, subscribing and watching these videos and dropping a comment, it helps me out. And I'll make sure I keep posting videos about these old Fords. We got Harley content, we got boat content, we got new F-150 content, hot rod content, car shows, pinup contests, you name it. This is a hot rod channel, car guy channel, truck guy channel, you name it, we got it. So hit that subscribe button. But anyways, let's jump into it and get started on this build. So first order of business I'm gonna do is, I already got this panel dropped right here. You're gonna have to pull this panel right here. The screws are right up there, and then this should come out and give us a little more access. But first thing I'm doing is pulling the steering column and pulling the brake pedal assembly out and swapping the new clutch pedal assembly in there. And I want to go ahead and get this knocked out of the way and make sure this all goes smoothly. And if it does, we'll continue. If I completely screw this part up, then there ain't no point in ripping my automatic out and putting a manual in, because I'm not going to be able to shift gears. So anyways, I'm going to get this all pulled out, and I'll throw a couple, updates as we go. I'm not going to be able to film this whole process because I'm going to be in here in the way of pretty much all the filming, but I'll let you guys, know the process and any tips and tricks I think you should know. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Once you pull all these panels out, you'll be able to see all the bolts and stuff you need to remove. And anyways, yeah, I'm gonna jump into it. We'll get started. All right, pedal assembly. It's about ready to come out. As you can see, steering shaft is just loose, but you don't actually have to unbolt it and pull it out, I don't think. We're about to find out. The vacuum booster is disconnected. Brake pedal is disconnected from its rod. There was a bunch of 14mm bolts, one 8mm and two 12mm that held this aluminum bracket up in here. But I'll pull it out and give you a better look what it looks like. I did have to unplug this plug, unplug the brake pedal plug sensor. We'll see if we have to unplug anything else. May have to end up unplugging the main harness on the steering column, but we'll see. Just wanted to show you guys what it looked like before I completely take it out of there. You can see the whole brake booster assembly is disconnected. So hopefully she'll just pull out of there. It wasn't too bad, but that was the first part of it. So let me see if I can get this pedal assembly actually taken out of here without having to pull the entire steering column out. I can't remember if I did pull the entire steering column out last time I did this to get the manual clutch pedal assembly out of that other truck. So we'll see. But once I get it out, I'll let you know, and I'll give you a diagram of all the bolts that hold this clutch pedal assembly in there, because some of them really aren't that visible. Well, good news. I was able to get the pedal assembly out without having to pull the steering column out completely. But honestly, it wouldn't be that much more to completely take it out. I did have to unbolt it from the firewall there. So really, to pull this thing completely out, all you have to do is disconnect the linkage up here. Have to disconnect your automatic shift cable linkage right there, and your bolt right there, or it might just pull all the way out of that shaft. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna leave it together. If I can get the new pedal assembly in there without having to pull it completely out, I'm gonna do that, just so I ain't gotta mess with that stuff up there. But anyways, it wasn't that hard. Honestly, from start to finish, I've only been doing this for about 30 minutes off camera, so it really wasn't too bad of a job. I did have to disconnect the main harness off the steering column right there, because all that runs, all the wires and harnesses snake through that hole right there. So in order to pull this out, you gotta obviously disconnect those harnesses, or you're just gonna rip all your wires out. But these two bolts right here, they're kind of hidden. The pedal assembly sits like this in the truck. So you gotta crawl up under your dash and look for these two. This one right here as well. That's an 8mm. These two are 12. And then the ones that hold your vacuum booster to the firewall and the pedal assembly to the firewall are 14mm. You also have to, there's a little cotter key. That's what your brake light switch mounts to. Pull that cotter key and that will come right off. And that's actually what your vacuum booster connects to as well. The rod. But other than that, it's pretty simple process. I'm gonna go dig through my parts bin and try to find the manual clutch assembly, and we'll do a little comparison on the two. But anyways, guys, that's the first major part. Honestly, I think that's more of a pain in the butt than pulling the transmission on one of these. The transmission's pretty easy to pull, but other than just making sure you don't get transmission fluid anywhere. But anyways, let me go find the manual clutch assembly. I'll throw that on the table and let y'all look at the two, and then we'll see if we can't get it thrown back in there. Great success. We found it. So there's you a good comparison of an automatic truck brake pedal assembly, manual truck brake pedal and clutch pedal assembly. I believe this is for your neutral safety switch basically on the manual truck, or to let the computer know you're depressing the clutch. This is going to be your clutch pedal linkage right there, and then the brake works just the same like on the automatic pedal assembly. But I'm gonna get her cleaned up and greased up, but she ain't got no, if you try to wiggle the pedal, there's no play in the bushings. She's pretty solid. It came out of a low mileage truck. It's just been sat in the weather for a little bit. Got a little rusty, but nothing a little rattle can can't fix, and some WD-40. We'll get some new rubber pedal covers for it, and she'll be looking good as new. Anyways, I'm gonna start putting her back in the truck and let you guys know how that goes. It's a little bit bigger, so it should be a little more fun. All right, success. Getting it in was a little bit harder than getting it out. And I did pull the steering column. In my opinion, unless you can figure out some other jigsaw way to get it in there, you are not getting the manual clutch pedal assembly in here without pulling the steering column. If you got an automatic truck and you're just changing the brake pedal assembly in an automatic truck, you can get it in and out without pulling the column. But getting a manual pedal assembly in there was a little difficult. But she's all in there. We got our 3 pedals now. I got make sure you get your brake pedal switch put back on. I'm gonna stuff this steering column back in there and start hooking all the wiring up and getting her put back together. I would say, for future reference, if I was doing this again, go ahead and get your master cylinder bolted in first, and then get those 2 little bolts put in there first. I didn't have an extra set of hands, so I installed the 2 upper bolts in the column first to kind of hold the assembly in place. Then I got them snug to where they would line up. There's 4 bolts on the back of this brake booster that slide through there. So I just got my pedal assembly bolted on and held in place. That way I could just slide this right in. But my brake lines and stuff are kind of wanting to pull this brake booster out of the firewall. So if you had an extra set of hands, what I would do is I'd get somebody to go ahead and hold that brake booster against that firewall for you, and put the pedal assembly on that. Bolt the pedal assembly up to the brake booster first. Then bolt those two upper bolts that kind of bolt into the dash. Bolt those in that way. But either way works. But yeah, she's in there. It was a little bit of a bear getting it in. Just one person. If I had a helper tonight, it'd have been a lot easier. But everybody's already asleep, so I'm out here burning the midnight oil. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna slap this column back in, hook everything back up, get the dash put in it, make sure she still cranks. As of now, if I hook my shift rod back up, I can still, you know, drive the truck as is. I just got an extra pedal there doing nothing, but I'm gonna get it all slapped back together. And I guess I might make a couple part series to this video. This would be part one, obviously clutch pedal removal and assembly or reassembly. And this would be your part one in doing a automatic to manual swap and a Bullnose up to probably OBS. It's all pretty much the same swap for the most part. The newer truck, you know, every generation is going to be a little different, but this one is specific for the Bullnoses, but it's all the same concept. But anyways, I'm going to stop the video right here after I get everything assembled, and I might go ahead and throw this up on the interwebs. If you see a part two, you know, follow the link and go watch the part two for the rest of the truck. But and then actually I'll probably, once I completely get done doing this swap, I'll compile all the videos and make one long video all the way through. So look for that on the channel. But anyways, let me get her all slapped back together. You guys can see the finished product. Well, that's a wrap. She's got a fun pedal now. Fired her up, everything still works, all the gauges, brake lights. It was a success. First part of the auto to manual swap complete. Overall, it took me about 3 hours from start to finish. And that's with filming and stuff. So you could probably knock it out in 2 hours if you're good. If you're not good, might take you a whole day, but it's definitely doable. If you've ever worked on trucks, and I'm sure if you're watching this video and doing a auto to manual swap, you've obviously worked on trucks before. I would say it's pretty easy. I mean, you're not trying to figure out or engineer anything. It's all just unbolt and swap. It just takes a little time figuring out how to Jenga everything out of there, but I'm super stoked. I hope this video helped you guys out. And like I said in the last clip, I'm going to go ahead and post this. That way it's out there on the interwebs. I got to gather a couple more parts before I actually pull the transmission out. I don't want to pull the trans out yet. That way I can still drive the truck. She's still drivable right now. She's just got a little pedal down there that don't do nothing. But overall, I can't wait to get the manual transmission in this thing. It's going to be a blast. I got the 302 in it, 456 gears, and the 8.8 rear end. I got some GT40 heads I'm going to be putting on it. And I'll probably throw a cam in it. And she should be a fun little hot rod. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like I said, I really hope it helps y'all. I make these videos because YouTube is where I get all my information on how to work on these trucks and much, much more. And I love watching other people build their trucks. It's very fun, very interesting. And anyways, hit that subscribe button. Help me out. Go look at the other Bullnose videos. I got a ton of Bullnose videos on this truck. It's just it's my baby, and she's getting there. We're getting her to race car mode. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.